Bro, I just thank God. So my daughter tore her ACL a little over a month ago. And because it was like going into Christmas and there was a lot going on with family, with also a lot of plans and the medical offices kind of being closed, she couldn't really get in to see a specialist to get it, get the surgery to fix it right away. And so, my daughter plays soccer. She's in high school and she fell like on the ball wrong, twisted her knee, it popped and tore her ACL. We found out and we got the the surgery scheduled for about a week ago. And so we knew that going into the surgery that it may not be covered, right? We knew that obviously there's a lot to it. There's physical therapy. She has to get the brace, she had to get crutches, and then the actual surgery itself. And we were a little worried about that. We're a little stressed out that, maybe the insurance wasn't going to cover it. I mean, you never know, right? Even if you think that the insurance is going to cover something, that doesn't mean that it actually does. It doesn't mean that they cover part of it, but then you get this massive bill later. Look, I'm not criticizing the American healthcare industry at all, but at the same time, it's not cheap to live. I digress. Anyway, so we were a little stressed out about having to possibly pay for each one of these visits because on the low end, it was going to be around $100 per visit. And she has to go 3 times a week for a full month and then 2 times a week for like a month after that. So we're talking a couple grand. And so I wasn't super excited about that, but I mean, I would have done what I had to do. If I had to sell stuff, if I had to work more hours or find something else to do, I would have done it, right? I'm not complaining. It's just, it is not cheap. So anyway, we knew that going in, my wife and we were praying about it, just that God would provide for us, that he would take care of us, that he would meet our need, and he would hopefully allow it to fully be covered by the insurance. So my wife took my daughter to her first appointment yesterday, and she texted me, while I was still at work, hey, they're covering the physical therapy. It's covered 100%. And I about almost cried. I was overwhelmed with gratitude towards God. And listen, I know that that's not always the case. I know that sometimes we pray that God would meet our needs. He would, bless us in certain ways. And it doesn't always happen. And I can't explain it. I'm just grateful. I'm only saying this because I'm super, super grateful. And I'm making this vlog to give God my praise, but also to remind you that sometimes you just need to keep bringing it to God in prayer. The Bible tells us to continuously pray, to bring all things with thanksgiving to God. It says that even Jesus prayed multiple times before he was crucified and asked God to take the cup from him and said, you know what, but if your will be done, not mine. And so, we are told we can pray multiple times. And even in Luke 11, I talked about this in some other video, that in Luke 11, 5, I think it's 5 to 12, it talks about the ask, seek, knock. And we should be doing that. We should be going to God with our request boldly and asking him, listen, God, I would really like you to do this. And I'll be honest with you, the times where I was at the lowest with, my life is the times where I went to God the most. I used to be out of work for years after the recession in 2008. I got fired in 2008 and I was out of work for a few years. And I was trying to make things work around the house because I was trying to start a business online, and it kind of did well for a while, and then it didn't. And so after it kind of collapsed, I was just desperate, and I was just praying out to God, God, take care of us, please, please, please. And there was months where I just didn't get anything, and then we would get to a point where, we were going to get evicted, or we were getting told that we were going to have to move out, and then we would all of a sudden get a check for hundreds of dollars that wasn't enough to cover that expense, but this is going to God multiple times in prayer over and over and over. So I guess this video, I won't make it any longer. One, just giving God all the praise, the glory, the honor, because he deserves it. But two, just a reminder that, what, just because God doesn't answer us in the way or the timing that we expect, that doesn't mean he doesn't hear us. In fact, maybe he wants you to come to him more with that thing because he wants you to trust him. Because a lot of times we say that we trust God, but then we take things into our own hands because we don't truly trust God. We say we do, but we don't actually. We just kind of do on the surface. So I don't know. I'm not accusing anyone, and I've also been that person. So again, I just want to give God the praise, and I'm just grateful for anybody that's watched any of my videos recently. Super, super grateful. Hopefully I can make better videos and talk about, better things, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's about it. I'll see you in the next one.